Nearly 2 years after the tragic episode of Apollo 1, the three-man Apollo 7 crew, veteran Wally Schirra and space newcomers Don Eisele and Walter Cunningham, prepare to make history. This is the most vital stage in America's plan to put man on the moon. The huge Saturn rocket lifts off, and the space trio are on their way to a scheduled 11-day trip aiming to orbit the Earth 163 times. By proving that they can launch Apollo, steer it, and rendezvous with the rocket in space, the Americans have passed another milestone in space exploration. If all goes well, they could be on the moon by next summer. The Queen has just opened the most modern railway terminus in Britain. This is not it, but it does illustrate the extraordinary obsolescence of some of our railway architecture. Just along the road from the brand new Euston, St Pancras was opened as the first Midland terminus a century ago. Its Gothic extravagance was an attempt to design a railway station which would utterly overshadow Euston and King's Cross. At last, Euston gets its revenge. Rebuilt over the past 5 years, is now the most modern railway terminus in Europe. Cars and taxis enter at basement level, and escalators bring you up to the vast passenger concourse. To open this £15 million showpiece, the Queen had travelled down from Balmoral. It's a complete transformation of London's oldest mainline station into her newest and most up-to-date. It's also the focal point in the electrification of main routes between London, the West Midlands and the North West. The whole atmosphere is more like an airport than a railway station, a definitely jet-set quality everywhere. Let's hope this up-to-the-minute quality is reflected in the timekeeping of the trains that use it. A day of triumph. That's how Avery Brundage described it. At least it was in striking contrast to that day of bloodshed in the Square of the Three Cultures. Certainly, as the Olympic symbol rose ponderously from the stadium, there was hardly a hint of the unrest that had almost threatened to cancel the whole thing. Well, it all started in Greece, so Greece leads the parade. Long jumper Lynn Davies leads the British contingent. And a special cheer for the Czechoslovakian team for reasons which are fresh in all our minds. The strongest man in the world, Zapatinsky, world champion weightlifter, towering above his Russian compatriots. The Japanese, with a delightfully convention-conscious cheerleader. So with a flourish of superb showmanship, the first Olympics ever held in Latin America approached their first climax. "20-year-old Enriqueta Basilio, striking a decisive blow for sex equality in the world of sport, becomes the first girl ever to light the Olympic flame. As if to prove that Mexican altitudes are not always an impediment to athletics, Enriqueta ran without faltering all the way to the top. The rarefied air at over 7,000 feet is only one of the problems that have beset the Games. Apartheid in South Africa, The violent unrest among the youth of Mexico, the thousands of security men in the stadium itself, all cast their shadow across the sunlit arenas in Mexico. Setting the style for '69, Earl's Court's the roadshow to beat them all. And good news from Roots, they've cut their prices, nearly £40 off the Hillman Imp. Fords pin their hopes in the budget market on the Escort with much the same formula of space, economy and variable power units as the popular small Vauxhall. The Viva now has 4 doors. Something more powerful, a 100-mile-an-hour version of the BMC 1800. The 2-litre market gets a terrific boost from the Triumph 2.5 PI, Britain's first saloon car with fuel injection instead of carburetors. But the honours for the real showstopper go to Jaguar. The new XJ6 has taken 4 years to design, and you can buy it in 2 versions, 2.8 or 4.2 litres. A superb example of design engineering that could eat great mouthfuls of the export market. But most of us have to compromise between desire and discretion. We can only cast eyes of envy at the exotic and unattainable. Cars which put motoring on a different plane. Not just transport, but a sensuous experience.